What's going on, everyone? So, in the upcoming Scream 7, something that I would love to see Ghostface do is get off the knife, right? Now, look, it is a slasher film, it is a horror murder franchise, right? Ghostface, I'm not saying Ghostface, I don't want to see him ever on the knife, right? But some of the best and most memorable kills and moments in Scream have all been moments where it's improvised or it's off the knife and it's menacing. And something that, this upcoming Scream is supposed to do based on rumors, it's supposed to have a more darker, menacing, just evil ghost face. And what better way to do that than to have somebody that gets a little creative? Like, get somebody that maybe goes a little over the top. Right? Like that bodega scene, right? Where Ghostface, takes the shotgun and just like that was cool. Like that was, and you got this like tactical Ghostface that just is like over here looking all military and militant. Like it was cool. It was a different kind of look and perspective on Ghostface, right? And you have so many moments throughout that you can kind of point to and just like, oh man, that was really great. Again, I don't want to see Ghostface running around with the shotgun the entire film, right? That kind of defeats the purpose, right? Kind of takes away too much, and argue that'd be a pretty quick film, right? Like Ghostface can't really be too menacing when he's just like taking people out in 10 seconds. It's like, so I'm not saying like completely change the way that Ghostface operates, and that I want this no longer to be a slasher franchise or anything. No, of course I do. I want them to be creative in some of those kills. But what I'm saying is that, have a sequence where, Ghostface is maybe wrestling with somebody and, loses the knife, but there's an axe there and it's like picks up the axe and handles business. Or, like there's a wood chipper or something and Ghostface is fighting off and, ends up using the knife and picks the person up, throws them in the wood chipper or something like that. That could be cool. It's like, oh, whoa, like have some memorable scenes, take some chances. Let's get a little creative in some kills, right? Like even Scream 6, that ladder scene, where they're all going across the ladder. I loved that creativeness, right? Like it's such a simple scene. Like in some ways it is a little silly, but it's just like what's coming. The build up, Ghostface just standing there. You can envision yourself and put yourself in that position of just like, man, like imagine just being trapped and stuck and there's just nothing you can do. There's no way out. And it's just like you see Anika just stuck in the middle, begging, pleading, help me type thing. And it's just like, you see Mindy looking at, her love interest and is like, oh man, like, like I can't help her. There's nothing I can do. Like all I can do is run. And Ghostface, stabs the knife into the window seal and just starts lit and messing and toying. And it's just like, and then you just get that boom. And it's just like, oh man, right? Like you just get that moment where, ooh, right? Like those are the things that really stick with you. Those are the type of things that you're just like, man, that was a great moment. That was a great kill. That was a great sequence, right? There's been moments throughout, right? There have been like Scream 5, you had Liv's death, right? Like that was unexpected, right? But at the same same time, I don't want to see, Ghostface just doing that every time because think of how quick the death was. Think how quick it was. But it was very shocking. It was very like, oh, caught you off guard, very memorable, right? Like, and Scream has had a history of that. Also, I've talked about this before. Like, you look at the series, look at the Scream series. However you feel about the Scream series, whether you love it, you hate it, you're indifferent, right? The Scream series has like some of the best kills in the entire franchise. Like some of those kills are creative, they're fun, they're memorable, right? Like I would love to see the Scream movies kind of take a page out of the series and be a little creative and have some fun, right? Like if this Ghostface really is supposed to be different, and it's supposed to be a scarier film, and it's supposed to be darker, like, how do you do that without changing expectations, right? Without doing things that are different, right? Because I mean, we've seen Ghostface be brutal. We've seen Ghostface be dark. I mean, Scream 4, right? Like, Scream 5 with, like, Tara just brutally just doing bad stuff, right? Like, trying to watch my words. It's YouTube, right? So, it's just like, it, but you think of those moments, and those moments are memorable, but they're not different, right? Like, so how do you do something different? How do you be creative and have these memorable moments and make it feel like Ghostface is sort of taking it up a notch? Like, Ghostface has done something different. Like, Ghostface is clearly, like, this one is clearly different. I think you get off the knife a little bit, right? I still want the classic kills. I still want, the classic moments, and you still do that. Like, the opening scene, I think you got to keep you got to keep the blade, right? Keep that right. I think, could the end result be something different? Sure, but I think, you got to get a couple good ones in there. Poke them a little bit, whoever it is in the opening scene, right? I think, you say there's, I don't know, 7 kills, right? I think at least 4 of them need to be at the hands of the knife. And then, you have another 2, maybe 3 that are creative. Like I said, Ghostface throwing CC Cooper off the balcony, right? Like, that's a memorable scene, right? Like, she's being chased, she gets stabbed, and then Ghostface just like, oh, well, bon voyage, and just tosses her off, and it's just like, you see her, no, 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 and then you get to see the guy just chilling, watching the whole sequence in the background, right? Like, for those that know, right? Pause that scene, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about if you don't know what I'm talking about. But, like, I just, again, you kind of default some of these scenes and some of these moments, and it's just some of the most memorable scenes in all of the Scream franchise have been the scenes where Ghostface isn't using the knife. Because, again, it's just, that's what's expected, right? So, if I show you, whatever, the letter Y 100 times, and then I throw in a random Z, that Z is going to stand out much, much more than all the other Ys, right? Like, because you've just been looking at Ys for last 10 minutes, right? Like, but now as soon as you see that Z, it's like, oh, and you walk away with that, like, man, at least there was that one Z, right? Remember that Z, right? Like, it's kind of what it is with this, right? Like, you have Ghostface, you're expecting the knife kills, you're expecting Ghostface to poke some people, right? But when you have that, like, it's CC Cooper death, or, the Nika death, or, you have some of these other moments, right? Like, it becomes very memorable, right? It becomes something where, it's like, oh, wow, like, that was different, right? Like, that was fun. That was engaging. It's what I want to see. I want to see some creativity. I want to see, some new ground broken, right? Like, I want to see some fun engagement, right? Give us something to talk about at the end of the movie. Just like, oh man, did you see that death? Did you see that person? Man, Ghostface threw him in a wood chipper, right? Like, imagine the tweets and or X whatever, right? Like, imagine all those things that you'd get to see, right? Like, it would just be the fun conversations that would create, right? The memorable moments in that film that you'd get, right? Like, it's okay to kind of get off the knife from time to time. Again, don't just change Scream entirely, and now Ghostface is running around with a chainsaw the whole movie. But, if you want to have a scene where, Ghostface finds a chainsaw and it's like, ooh, like, see what this can do, right? Like, I'm all for that. You want to have a scene where Ghostface chainsaw somebody in half. Like, let's go, right? Like, I'll take that all day, including Sunday. But no, I also want, again, some creativity, right? Be creative. You know, let's break some ground here. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you want to see Ghostface kind of get off the knife a little bit? Do you think, nah, like, you know, keep it simple, keep Ghostface, strictly the knife? Again, I mean, almost every Scream movie's kind of had that moment where, you know, there was a kill that wasn't just the knife, but, you know, like, do you want more than the norm is what I'm getting at. Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.